So hello and welcome to round number 5. So we go straight to the deck list because players are getting ready. They're shuffling their decks. This is deck of Michal Duda, Elves. You know, we talked about this deck for a lot lately. One of the top decks in the format. Super fast, great mana, can be fast and can still play grindy game through survival of the fittest. I remember how I was destroying lands of my opponent through Kamal when he had Plague Spitter. You also play what's not always the case. You play Tanglewire to slow down your opponent and win the game because you have so many more permanents. Some people play it, some people don't play it. So, but I think other than that, I think this is a classic list by written in the sideboard. And the next deck we have here. And the next deck we have here is Goblins. So this is really classic matchup, Elves versus Goblins.
Ooh.
Goblins, Elves is pretty standard with Tanglewire, and Goblins is... do we have anything special here? There is like the Tinkerer against artifacts in the main deck. Other than that, I don't see anything special in the main deck. And
I see two Goblin Sharpshooters.
And you see, and
right?
two, yeah.
And usually you would just run one.
Mm-hmm.
But two is the more the merrier, especially in the matchup against
In this
Elves.
matchup, yes. I think generally it's considered that Goblins are favorite in this matchup,
Yeah,
right?
I would think so. I would say like the reason why there's not more Elves, one is Burn, two is Goblins. So let's see if that actually holds true here.
And 3 is the price of gas Cradle.
Yeah, sure.
But right, what I like, and we don't see it so much, is Blood Moon in the sideboard. But if we are honest, it's not at its best in pre-modern Blood Moon, isn't it? Like,
like
it's not like in so many formats where you just like.
Yeah. I'm also curious about the fact that this deck is the straight up mono red version. So usually I would say green. I would say like more often than not we see green these days for naturalize. How big of a factor is it specifically in the matchup against Elves, where you have survival of the fittest, which is a bit of a boogeyman.
Yes, that it is, and there is not really a way how to stop it, honestly. Like, you're not going to bring Crypt to hit Squee. So players are ready. And...
So yeah, we'll see if it's gonna cost Juli Aco. How would he call the player?
We can ask him. But Juli?
Let's call him Juli.
Juli, yes.
Yeah, I like
and Michal, how we should call Michal?
Let's call him Michal.
Michal, okay.
Michal.
Okay, I'm for that. And so Goblins are mulliganing. Like, I think I'll be probably cheering a little bit for the Elves.
For the underdog.
For the underdog, I'm always for the underdog.
Yeah, I'm curious how they can overcome. That's another mulligan.
So this mulligan to
Sharpshooter is just scary.
Yes, that's
it's
broken.
Like so scary. Like if you resolve Sharpshooter, especially if it has haste, it's like what are the elves supposed to do about it?
I don't think.
Do you hope that Masticore will carry you?
That's it. It was just exactly what I wanted to say. There's Masticore. There's that Kamal. Fist of Crossat, so that can do something potentially.
Like you can animate your lands so that the Sharpshooter can eat them?
No, you animate his lands and they somehow die to Masticore.
Okay.
Yes, but I remember playing against like Plague Spitter.
Yeah.
He had it turn 1 and then I had Kamal and I just animated his land in his upkeep.
That is just cruel.
Yes.
That's like,
but my favorite...
You have Kamal already in the play.
My favorite
Why do you need to do that?
My favorite was that all his lands died and then he played another land and then passed and I did it again. And then he realized he has to wait.
And he realized he's locked out of the game forever.
Yeah, so... Yeah, then he killed his own Plague Spitters.
Okay, that's just evil.
But I think, what I was when I played Elves, I always loved how powerful it is, how fast it is.
So explosive,
yes,
like with Cradle.
Yes, I nothing against the players we had the previous round, but at some point I felt I would fall asleep because it was just like Parallax Wave, take your three creatures,
Yeah.
wait 2 turns, then my Parallax Wave dies.
Yeah.
Then I play another Parallax Wave, and it was like we were not getting anywhere. And here
Uh-huh.
it seems that both decks like go straight to the point.
Yeah, let's like we have Lanover Elf versus Goblin Lucky. That's
Like
just the
best possible
Yeah.
start for both.
I mean, Juli Mulligan, so maybe his hand, is like little.
We will see what
shorter.
Michal will do, but probably he wants to maybe focus on like making sure this Goblin Lucky does not connect.
Right.
That should be his priority number one, I guess, because that's the way how we can get back into the game. This is pretty good. Quirion Ranger,
Okay.
Querdlon.
Good line, yeah. Severely mispronounced name of the word Quirion,
Yes,
which can just become good.
but that's obviously you have to forgive us. That's from the times when nobody could speak English.
Yeah, we were like 11, and we were
Yeah, yeah.
trying to read the names of the cards. Yes.
And still like for example, like most classic Czech magic incorrect pronunciation is target.
Target. Well, but
Target.
yeah, sure. But
Yes.
that's not just with Magic. That's just like in general. It's one of the most common mistakes.
I see it especially with magic when people they know it's target, but it's just we were saying target. G is J, so it's target.
So what's going on there? There's a bit of a glare, but there's a mountain for Michal, and now the question is, will the Goblin Lackey be able to connect? And so we're moving the cards a little bit from the glare zone. Okay, now that works. That works very nicely. Okay. So the Gordlon hits the bin, and that's pretty solid start from Juli, who has 2 lackeys and Fanatic that took down the elf that brings the land.
Now if you're Michal, what do you do? Because like it's tempting to play the Echo.
Yeah,
Because you have
for
2/2
lackey.
creature, like that's also one of the things I like about Premodern. Like 2/2 creature is actually relevant.
It blocks the 1/1 creature.
Blocks 1/1, yes. On the other hand,
He does play the
he
Echo.
does play for the Echo.
I think if you have another land with
That's
with
sweet.
creature, then it's relatively safe. But I'm not gonna say safe. Safe is too strong.
You're never safe, right?
you're
Because
never safe.
it's just 1 gem palm, not gem
Yeah.
palm, but gem palm. 1 gem palm, and then he's going to connect with one of them, or he can play Goblin King or something like that. That can be
War Chief.
War Chief,
Okay,
yes.
that could have been. Well, it's a good card. But Julie, I think, is running out of cards in his hand. At this
Yeah.
point, after the double mulligan, he has maybe, 1 or 2 cards? And he
is attacking.
he decides to swing.
well. You just double block the luckies, and
Yeah,
you
like
are- you are-
like block, not double.
basically Julie needs to have like a ringleader. Yes, I would do this. I would do the same.
I agree. Because that way, yeah, you're just 2 for 1 your opponent.
Hmm.
That works.
You didn't get any value from the viral.
The other lucky should hit the bin as well. The
Yes.
other lucky should die.
Yes.
Maybe we can remind them.
Yes.
So, do we have the other lucky that's dead? I thought that's what they were doing there.
Yes. Adam will just check it, but it's clear if Wirewood Symbiote traded with Lucky, and then the 2/2, died as well. Yeah, exactly. Now this is correct. Less promising for Julie, that's for sure. This board, and like if Michal plays almost whatever, he's like he's doing great.
Yeah. So that's a survival of the fittest. That is something for sure. And
Yes, there are some points that maybe they would not go for the Korean Ranger, that they would try to kill like Lanover Elf, with the Mook Fanatic. Before he's discarding
discarding on
Deranged
his
Hermit
turn,
on his turn,
Deranged
Deranged Hermit, and he's probably going to get like another Wirewood or Squee, one or the other.
This is the point where I feel like you're the Elves player. You just really need to know what you're doing, because if you don't, then you're just gonna spend too much time thinking about like what is the best in this specific moment, and you cannot play the deck that way. You're like, you need to know at least, okay, like in a situation like this, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you should definitely limit possibilities for your opponent to come back. You know, so if your opponent will draw now like a sharpshooter, you know, do you have something against it? What will you do against it? Because
Survival can find you Mastic, or that's
yeah. But like we had it because after the previous game, I went to talk to Tom and Victor about the match, and I was like, Tom, why didn't you do something? And he's like, well, I didn't have creatures. I could have. And I was like, you could get Squee and just get your survival, but he didn't. And then he didn't have creatures.
And he ran out of.
things to do.
Interesting.
So that was.
I mean, if you have the time, and mostly you should, then you should always go for Squeeb, like to kickstart the engine where you basically don't run.
With
Is that
madness when you.
Oh, okay, this is dangerous. Now Matron can find the sharpshooter who's going to be online
and
this turn
it will
with
have
haste.
Yes, it will have haste.
Okay, I feel like somehow the game has turned around. Has it? Like, okay, Michal has the survival. Is it enough?
I don't know, because his mana is going to die. He will need like at least have a fourth land to play Masticore.
He will be able to find Squeak. Like he has 2 green lands, so that's good. And then
Middle finger pointing to the elf. That's going to die.
Did the elf just got shown middle finger?
Yes.
Huh.
Also, how many years it was before you knew what twig means?
Twig?
Because that's the
one bone
broken
for
every
twig
twig
snapped underfoot.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Actually, when I was a kid, I used to actually like translate quite a lot of the flavor text. I was
but you had to use a dictionary.
Yeah, sure. Like an actual paper dictionary. Yeah, like you would like this tiny white. I think we all had it in the school. It was like this small format.
Yes.
So you would go and what is a twig? Okay, that sounds painful. And then you go on and translate another flavor text. Of course, not if it's Japanese or then I didn't have Japanese dictionary, so.
Yeah. Well, if you had, you would totally be able to translate
100% be able
Absolutely.
to find what it is, yeah. Okay, so that elf is getting a dice, which sounds like, or maybe not.
Okay, so he's discarding Multani Acolyte.
Oh, so there was another Quirion Ranger activation response.
Which again, I don't know what's Michal. I guess Michal has a plan, but my first idea is I don't like it because like you're further away from Masticore.
Yeah, right. Like you want land number 4, and then you just want to clear that pesky sharpshooter out of the way before you rebuild.
It's kind of insane,
like,
sharpshooter.
Yeah. Okay, like squeak. Come on, let's find a squeak. That's it's a starting point at least.
I'm thinking what else you have. You have Birchlo Rangers. You can play it as a morph, as a 2/2. Because basically you have to think that you need 2/2s.
Yeah.
Or X2s.
I guess. Anger. Sure, yeah. How about we find our own sharpshooter? I don't think so.
He doesn't play.
So, does he?
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Okay, and now...
But I still would like to see the red card.
You mean like the red card that Michal is playing the mountain for?
No, I'm using the squee.
Squeeze in the bin.
Oh, it's already in the bin.
Yeah,
okay,
he went like
squee
into anger, into like still having 1 mana open.
Now he's attacking. I guess he just trade with the war chief.
Snap trade the war chief.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Like
this is. I think it makes sense only to attack with the Matron. Like you can trade it.
Absolutely.
The war chief is way too valuable. It's more valuable than a random 2/2 in my opinion.
What is he doing?
Shooting per 1, I guess. Oh, you shoot twice, right? Because 2 creatures die. So two. Those.
Yeah. So you will tap it, shoot for 1.
So Michal,
they will die.
Exactly.
They will both die. There are 2 triggers.
Yeah.
So you can deal 2 damage.
So 3 damage in total, and the sharpshooter's going to be untapped. Yeah.
No, 2.
2 damage. 2 damage in total, and it's going to be untapped. Yeah. So like post combat, Michal should be on 14. because the Goblin Metron. What is happening? What's happening there?
Oh yeah, now I understand. Maybe he's saying that when when the goblin will die, then sharpshooter doesn't have haste anymore.
Okay, that is actually a very valid point. That is true. So that means that there will be 2 triggers, but he won't be able to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
But you
see
can-
that.
yeah,
so
you can use it.
you can only use shoot once. Then.
Now I see it also in the Twitch chat. Thank you for pointing it out. They say the same thing.
Yeah.
I think this is quite clear. Like they will trade, and he will deal 1 damage,
One damage,
and then
right,
let's go on.
right.
So Michal will take 2 from Matron and from the
Right.
from the sharpshooter.
Okay. Like it can't stay tapped. Because the last thing that will happen are the triggers that untap it. So
Yes,
these
but
are
by
not
then
tied.
Warchief is not in the play.
Yes, right. And I
But
think that's
he thinks that he wants to maybe tap it several times in advance.
like I
tap it 3 times.
pre-tap it, and
pre-tap it.
it's gonna be tapped thrice, and then it will untap 3 times. In a different game, maybe that would work.
Yes, but I have to say, I'm a very tolerant person, I believe, but I would like to move on from this.
I think this
From
whole
this
tapping and
situation, I think
untapping, we've seen
enough of this.
Yeah. Okay. So Michal should be at 15, I believe.
Yes.
Let's see if they confirm our 15
Yes.
minutes.
Perfect.
All right, and then end of turn,
And
we're
now,
gonna
end
see
of
the
turn.
anger.
Anger goes to the bin
Yeah.
and take something.
Angrecht.
Take something that has 2 toughness.
This is miserable. Like the. Also, if you go for Bird Claw Rangers, then you play them, and you don't even have time to search for Masticore to play it like the turn after. The good thing is that there's no pressure right now. Like Juli might be kind of out of cards. We'll see. Maybe he has a ringleader.
Yes,
to-
if
to
he has
do
a
that,
ringleader,
but, like
yeah.
if he doesn't have much, then at least he's not applying pressure. If you're
Yeah.
Michal's shoes, then you have
Yes.
some breathing room.
Absolutely. But I think it's quite interesting because like basically both players have the strongest card they have. Like in this matchup, or well, Michal in any matchup pretty much, and Juli particularly in this one, like sharpshooter. It's
It's
fantastic.
insane. And it's like the fact that you have all the Matrons to search it.
Yes.
It's like your deck has like 6 sharpshooters.
6 sharpshooters that have haste and cost 2 mana because we always have War Chief. No, I think it's lovely, and I think he also plays Skirk Prospector or 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So you're on 10 life and you still die. So
Choof. So Michal goes for a morph, as you mentioned. Not Berkeley Rangers, but a Nantico Vigilante.
it will be also less surprising.
Yeah. Well, you can still like shuffle your cards in hand and play a morph.
Oh yeah. But I wish, like, of course, that was the original idea of morphs, that you don't know what they have.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you kind of always do.
You know, and yesterday we had this like Friday meetup tournament, and people were drinking beer, and like the atmosphere was relaxed. And in round 4, there was a judge call, and the question was: so I had a morph, like the player said, okay, I had Bane of the Living as a morph. My opponent returned it with some Chain of Vapor, and I also have Exalted Angel. Do I have to show him the morph that it's Bane of the Living when I want to play it? It was like the most absurd. Like he simultaneously told his opponent he had Exalted Angel in his hand, and he also. It was kind of like fun. I understand it was quite late into the tournament.
But I think according to rules, if it's bounced, you have to show it, right?
You have. I don't think so.
You don't?
No,
Okay.
because like you're playing it, it can be anything else.
Okay.
Like you can literally, even if it's the only morph that you have in your deck, then you can still like shuffle your cards around in your deck and just play.
But I think at the end of the match, you have to show it.
Yeah, at the end of the match, you have to show it. Yes.
Because I remember there was some kind of affair that some American pro last round of some GP in a draft when there were morphs.
Yeah.
He basically lost, and then his opponent, who was obviously ran like a casual player, packed it in. And he like waited for it and called judge and had him dequiet, and he got the win.
Yeah,
apparently.
because he didn't show him the.
He didn't show him the morph, and he moved to. So I think a lot of people felt it was like not really what like pro players how they should represent the game.
Dude, is there any chance you remember who was it?
I think I do, but maybe I don't want to say.
Okay, then you can say it off camera. I'm curious, but I remember there was a story like that. I don't know if it's like urban myth. But it might have very well happened.
I think it happened, and I think he even like commented on it. The player, and maybe even like sort of like mildly apologize for it.
Mildly apologized for this. Like that is a very mild way how to do it. We have make one sharpshooter, two sharpshooters.
Yeah, it's like
actually.
what's worse for elves?
Yeah.
Then there's one more
You
sharpshooter.
just need a Masticore, and you like pray that the opponent doesn't have anything at this
Yes.
point, right? Like a single Mock Fanatic can kill the Masticore at this point.
It's kind of like,
And so it's like you ask, do you have it? If they have it, then there's not much you can do about it. Funny thing is, you can't even block the Matron with the Masticore unless you want it to die.
somebody says in the chat that every time a morph leaves the battlefield, you
Yeah.
have to show it.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
that's
I believe so.
unsummon.
Yeah, you need to show it as well.
Okay, because that was my point. I thought that you said you don't show it when it's
No,
bounced.
you show it. Show
Okay,
it, show
I'm
it.
sorry, I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
No, I might have said it in the wrong way, but like what I meant was like you have to show it as it's leaving the battlefield.
Okay.
And then it's clear that you have it in your hand. But then when you replay a morph, your opponent doesn't know if you still have it in your hand or if it's that one, because they don't know if it's like a different morph or or
Okay, and what's funny that now we thought that Michal is dead, but I
No.
think he's just going to take control of the game.
He's close to stabilizing. The thing is, he cannot block here. Oh, okay, both sharpshooters into the red zone. What happens if you block one? You want to block one?
Oh yeah, for sure you do.
Kind of tempted. Like you definitely don't block the war chief, otherwise your Masticore dies.
Yes, but I mean,
But if
why,
one- like,
why
if
not
you-
to block the?
yeah. Like if your opponent had Mock Fanatic, then they would just kill the Masticore before attacking. Like
No.
they-
you just
right.
block the sharpshooter and you save 2
yeah.
mana next turn.
Yeah, I think that's the way to play it. Because like what can Juli have
Huh?
that would punish Michal for blocking here?
No idea.
Like
Like,
land number
leave
2
it like-
Spectre?
because we
Square? No, don't block the war chief. That's not gonna work well, I think.
No.
Don't do it.
It's like it seems like every turn. Okay, Julie is going to win. Now Michal is going to win. Now Julie is going
This
to
is back and forth. I don't
It's-
think this is gonna work the way Michal wants it to work. Yeah. Okay. This guy's dead now. They don't need haste. They're just gonna snipe.
No,
the
but I think
Masticore.
somebody says in the chat that no blocks. But I think
No,
we
I-
think if you block the sharpshooter,
Yeah.
then he untaps and he only has one.
Yeah.
He has only one trigger of sharpshooter, like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
damage.
yeah.
So
I think that was the block here. I think, but yeah, Masticore down, and now the question is, okay, what now?
is there a Genesis?
What's your next good play against a double sharpshooter?
I feel a bit sorry for Michal because I
Yeah.
think had he probably thought
Yeah, he would have taken one more damage. He would go to 7,
and you just win. You just untap and win. You just
Then
kill
the sharpshooter. Wait, the sharpshooter would deal.
No, it would be like
One
this.
more?
You target sharpshooter and you kill it. Okay?
Yeah. No, I
That-
mean like you would take one more damage from the sharpshooter who would untap from the other sharpshooter dying. So you'd go to 5, right? 6,
Okay.
7. Yeah, but well, yeah. Anyway, the sharpshooters would be gone,
Yes.
and like gone. There's no more sharpshooters in Julie's deck at that point.
Not to mention, even if he didn't attack, you just kill one sharpshooter
Mm.
and he deals damage. And when the one that survives wants to untap, you should shoot it in response.
Yeah.
So it's not like an extra damage anyway.
Okay. Michal doesn't have
He
lamp
doesn't
number
have a lamp.
6. This went from
Like
Yeah.
I think like that he won pretty much
yeah.
to that he lost.
Yeah,
Yes,
looks
I think
like
it's
it.
very-
That is a yeah, it's a
That's
brutal,
painful. Yes.
brutal turn of events there for Michal.
But like, sometimes you have to go for it. I think maybe if he didn't attack with like sharpshooters, probably Michal would not block
Maybe that's possible.
and he would just win.
Yeah.
But the fact that Juli went for it, he risked it
Mm.
and attacked. Like it's always sometimes when you think I have this phase when you are like we should probably comment on the sideboarding, but I just want to say this thing. Like, when you know you're like dead,
Uh-huh.
I always like switch into this Zen move that you do everything the best you can possibly do and
Yeah.
still not expect anything.
Yeah.
And then things like that happen. Like Juli did the best what he could.
Yeah. Like,
And
he had nothing to lose. He had nothing
maybe he
to lose at
confused
this
Michal
point.
with attacking with everything.
Pyrokinesis here.
Yes, it's very clear. I think it's pyrokinesis,
That's
and that's it. It potentially Goblin King, in theory, but he has
Well,
already one in main because he
well,
plays Mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
So it can be surprising, like you just kill him.
Yeah,
Out
yeah.
of
I like it.
Out of
I
nothing.
like it.
But the question is, do you want more than one? I think it's just one.
I mean, let's see. What do you board out then? Do you board out Goblin Tinkerer?
Yes, that's the first one comes to mind.
And basically that's it, right?
Maybe
like
Skirk
all
Prospector.
the other cards are okay. Maybe Skirk Prospector, yeah. Although sometimes it can help when you're like facing a tangle wire, you need to resolve something. But I can imagine you make your deck slightly slower. I think you want really one drops, maybe even because of Pile Driver. But okay, I'm not like I don't know that.
What do we do here? I mean, Color of the Claw, and your Sharpshooter. It will be Sharpshooter
Okay,
versus Sharpshooter.
yeah, Sharpshooter Mirror, bring it on. Do you want something that's more grindy, like Genesis, or
I mean, Genesis in this situation,
it's too slow, right?
that was just too slow. Even if he had like Genesis and he would bring back Masticore, it just takes your whole turn unless you have like Sunboard.
Okay.
So I think you don't want you don't want the disenchant creature.
Well Wisher.
Well Wisher
No.
is I don't like
Maybe
Well
it's
Wisher
different.
honestly.
Other matchup.
Does it do anything?
Gains life?
Okay.
Okay, maybe not.
You mean one of the
How about
one of
Winter
the
Orb?
worst things in Magic, gain life,
Yeah.
unless it's Exalted Angel.
Yeah. Or Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah.
Okay, Winter Orb. I like
That's
the
good.
difference between elves and goblins is that the goblins want to tap a lot of mana, and they don't have any like natural way how to untap.
That's actually a really interesting idea, honestly. I really don't like Tangle Wire. I don't like Tangle Wire because like goblins can I don't say punish you. Of course, they will tap much more, right? Because because with Tangle Wire, when you think of Tangle Wire, it's good to think that you tap 3 non-Tangle Wire permanents, and your opponent will tap 10.
Oh, like in total when you
In total,
when
when you count it
out.
all together, you tap 3 and he taps 10. So, and especially when it's like early, especially when you play it and he has 4 non-land permanents, he just taps everything. Right?
Yeah.
So then it's at its strongest.
Would you say there's a difference on play and on draw against goblins, and when you want?
You mean Tangle Wire?
That you would want Tangle Wire against goblins on the play, but not on the draw, or it doesn't matter.
Honestly, I don't know, but I feel like my gut feeling is I don't want it at all.
Okay.
Tangle Wire. I feel it's
So
like it doesn't do much, and they have a lot of 1 mana spells,
they do.
and they can have they can get creatures quite quickly into play. So it's not like when you play against Control, who has no. Of course, if you have Phyrex and Furnace, it's different. But against like anything else, like if you play against like Control, he has freelance. You play Tangle Wire, he taps everything. He plays 4 land, then he taps almost everything. It's like 2 times time walks, and then by then he's kind of dead. Especially in this format when you don't really have something like Force of Will, you really need to counter with your mana. So I don't like Tangle Wire, but I agree that Winter Orb can be good. Yes.
So,
But I think you want Color of the Claw.
well, you can board in Sharpshooter, Color of the Claw, Winter Orb, and just board out your Tangle Wires.
Tangle Wires and the morph creature you want to
Oh, the one that does the
Nantuko
Vigilante. Oh well, okay. So I believe Juli mulliganed, and he's on the draw, and he has a land. Mog Fanatic does not shoot the
didn't kill
finger
it. That's
in your upkeep,
or in the draw step.
or sometimes after. Well, definitely before Michal's first main phase. I think that makes sense that you want to do it like.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, if that's what happened, then the fanatic should be in the graveyard and the trigger should be on the stack.
Yes.
So this is kind of ambiguous in terms of.
But since nothing is moving, I think like whole world froze,
yeah,
and we don't know where we are.
Okay, so it looks like the Finor. Maybe he was just like saying, "Oh, should I? Shan't I?" But
Okay.
the Gaia Scroll is even one more reason to actually go for it, but that is too late at this point. Maybe he's gonna get some more juicy targets, like not this one. I was thinking more like Priest of Titania. So draw a card. Now the Cradle can do its thing.
Yes, and I only noticed now that we don't have like round in our graphic. So those of you who only join us now, it's round 5. You know,
Out of 8.
Out of 8, there'll be 8 rounds in total, and after that we'll play top 8.
Okay, that Gaia's Cradle turned from a forest into a Soul Ring into a...
Adam, can you please remind me how this turn would look like if Mock Fanatic killed the Premodern?
I mean, this round would be different.
Yes, but I think we all... And now he's like resigned. Okay, untap it to get some more mana.
Look at that survival.
Yeah, that's what I meant when like this is incredible. What Elves can do.
And this is turn 2. Now we're gonna actually kill the symbiote. All right.
Okay. Yeah, he probably was waiting for it all along. He knew. He knew it was coming.
Yeah. It's like and you have to have a plan, right? So maybe the plan is leave the mana dorks alone. Like just kill the stuff that does something.
Yes.
Ball driver. Also, maybe he could have attacked, but then
there's like old rock song, "Leave the kids alone."
It's it's the wall.
Yes, it's the wall. But it's about teachers. So I don't take it personally.
Okay. Leave the elves alone.
Yes, leave the elves
Goblins, leave the elves alone.
I read recently that according to Welsh mythology, fairies, do you know what they ride into the battle?
I'm gonna say geese. They ran...
Corgi.
What?
Corgi.
What's that?
The dog. The queen's favorite dog.
Like the little couch sofa
yes,
dog.
This one now it's popular. Everybody's buying it. But I'm just imagining like these fairies, with the saddle on the corgi charging into battle.
Okay, that's kind of cute. I'm surprised they didn't print that in Bloomborough. But like in that, like I don't know if you noticed the last.
But recently, there was one. There's like Fairly Exuberant Shepherd, which is a corgi. And it's actually pretty good creature has been printed in this year. I think now the train's rolling. Michal is...
And an interesting thing is that Juli has a Wasteland, but he decided to give Michal one more turn of cradling around.
I almost feel like I want to have a word with Juli after the game, because that's the thing with elves. Like you just like when I play against elves in say Legacy, you kind of always kill the first elf.
But you do go for their mana? Because like what you're suggesting, kill the mana door can kill the cradle as soon as you see it. So can the elves, because if you kill their mana, it means also you spend some resources and they will be able to do something.
But Adam, if we just go back to turn 2, how the turn would look like?
Like in this specific case, it
would be just a whole world different.
Yeah.
Would he just play survival and pass with the second forest, and that would be it? That's just so different from what we are seeing now. Now he's playing summoning sick sharpshooter, and I believe if Michal has red mana,
he can do like anger sharpshooter.
He can have it all. He can just do it.
Does he have enough mana though? Like
he's going to have Cradle. I think he will be fine.
The Cradle. So 1, we don't even know if he has red source. 2, he needs to use the survival at least twice. Once to find anger, second
but
time
I'll just stop you there. Even if he kind of doesn't have it, he can do it next turn with Anger in Grave, and he can search for the Yavimaya Granger to get a mountain.
Sure.
So even if he doesn't have it now, he will for sure have it next turn, and he will at least kill the sharpshooter.
Yeah, that's true. But at that point, Juli will be able to wasteland the Cradle, kill Michal's board. I mean, this game.
You mean the Cradle he should have wasted? but of course it's difficult. I mean, I'm not hating on Juli at all, because he had the sharpshooter.
There were options. He wanted to play his third mana. So if you waste
that's my point. He decided, he went for this plan, and he felt this is the plan.
I see why he would do it the way he did. And now we can have a conversation about if it's better or worse, which we're actually doing, without the person who's actually playing. So it's a bit one-sided.
Yes, without knowing what was in his hand. Which is another part of it.
we're all being very smart here in the booth, but like there's definitely a lot of information that we're missing here. Now, also, we don't know if Michal has access to red. Like, if you seems like he doesn't. If you do it with the Granger, then it takes a bit more time. Also, it comes to play tapped. So I think that Sharpshooter looks like it's gonna have at least one turn of activation.
But if he has like Masticore, so what is it? Is it 6 mana now?
Which one is it?
So he can have Masticore in hand.
He would have to. He would.
He has this.
If he this works as well. Sure, yeah, why not? This works. So now we have like 4 more mana.
4 more, so he can discard 3 and get Granger and get Mountain.
Sure, and next turn he should have enough stuff for that actually is gonna work pretty well. His deck is really difficult to play, I gotta say as well.
No, I think that's
Elves.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's so many things to do, and
Yeah.
not overuse Quirion Ranger to not to like Quirion Ranger yourself into Stone Age with having like 1 forest in play turn 6.
If you're with Elves and like somebody asked you after the match how it went, and you can say I lost, I Quirion Ranger too much. Like
It's like I like expression. I'm not sure who came with it. Maybe Caleb Darward. Like bury your opponent under card advantage.
how do you do that?
Like that you draw so much that you just have everything.
Oh, you
So
mean
you-
like I thought
you
that you
bury.
would give them
No, you bury your opponent on card
they
advantage
just like
of yours.
throw cards at them.
Kind of, yes, exactly. That's how it is. Like I don't
Okay.
even care. I just
Yeah.
sort supply through everything you have.
He didn't. Michal, by the way, didn't go for the Granger plan.
Yeah.
So and
Maybe
now
you know what?
usually-
Maybe just what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe he has something like Collar of the Claw.
Do you think that Julie might have Mountain? Like he searches for Mog Fanatic. Oh, he could. Oh, right. Because if Julie decides to wipe Michal's board,
He
then
can do
Michal
it.
can easily go like
Collar of the Claw.
Color of the Claw and make 3 bears. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
That is a very well. Because I was thinking Julie now searches for Mog Fanatic. He plays Mountain and he just like shoots away all the 3. But actually, it's
Yeah,
not
that's-
that simple. It's not that simple. Also because of the Wirewood Symbiont. Okay, this game is starting to be really fascinating. And it's like, there are decks when you have 1 mana on turn 1, 2 mana on turn 2, 3 mana on turn 3. Here's like, usually you have 1 mana on turn 1, unless you start with Gaia Squirtle, which you probably shouldn't.
There's waste.
And then,
And imagine now Julie, in theory,
Yeah.
could have go for Mog Fanatic
yeah.
and just like wipe his board.
But there's the Color of the Claw danger.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, and also there's white. Yeah.
He's probably well aware of it because 4 mana means that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
even like search.
Yeah,
For Color of
exactly.
the Claw. It's
exactly.
not- it's
That
not
would
like
be
you
very
have to have it
dangerous
in hand.
place. Wait, so what's happening?
He's
Okay.
shooting.
But like, why would you shoot? Oh, because it's a 1/1. Sure. Symbiont goes away. It's not
But,
an elf.
but I wonder whether he waited and let the mana burn.
Then we would
in between
see
phases.
what
There would be a
Michal
die probably
used.
with mana.
And you would see what Michal used the mana for.
Yes, he would probably search for sure. He would use.
Yeah.
Now he's putting the die because he wants to attack, right? So moving to the next phase. So that's
So these creatures are not attacking yet, I believe.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yes. Yes, and he's also saying that the matron has been just played, so he can't attack with it.
That's also true.
That's a very good point. And
It's
we
not.
should-
You don't always have the war chief in place.
We get from
Sometimes
the-
you don't, and
yes, and I
Goblins
think
are sick.
we should make sure that that's the case.
so
He's only
there's
got 1 bear.
yeah, 1 Baron color. I mean, it's like still 3 mana, or I mean, make it 4. 4 power toughness, not bad. You can start attacking
5.
straight away. 5 because it's an elf. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So it's not that bad. Like you can go on the offense basically. That is it's a nice bear. Then
So now I'm just getting ready to jump up, and okay, so he didn't attack. Yeah, that also makes sense. You don't want to attack into the bear.
into the bear. Yeah.
By the way, maybe our viewers don't know that you're a big fan of bears, and that you always collected, right? Grizzly bears.
No. That
You
was
never-
actually Michal Duda.
Oh, that's Michal Duda.
Yeah. He tried to collect like every single version
of 2/2
every
bear.
grizzly bear. I guess he expanded. Originally, it was just grizzly bears in different languages and foil, non-foil, and then I think he expanded the collection to just
Okay.
like every 2/2 bear. I think it was Michal Duda.
Okay, Michal Duda.
Yeah. I'm actually more into like collecting dragons. So I've had a collection of dragons going for some time. I haven't been updating it as much as I used to.
Are you a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon?
I started collecting way before that was a thing. Like, come on.
Because I was babysitting some kids last night and we watched the 3.
Okay.
I didn't see the previous iterations of that show.
I gotta say I haven't seen.
In my opinion, there are too many dragons in that show.
There is no.
Like, I think it should be like reasonably rare. There are more dragons than there are people in those films.
Okay. What is this show about dragons?
It's a film. It's an animated film, and this was like there is 1, 2, 3, and now the latest one is 3. And
all dragons.
I remember my good friend of mine, left-leaning one. She was really a bit angry, and I hope it's not spoiling for anybody. At the end, they both find a mate and they have children, and
Dragon
she felt
kids.
like the dragon finds a she dragon, and the guy finally marries his dragonet, and she felt like, why does it fulfillment has to always involve kids?
The writers running out of ideas.
What was telling me holding one of her kids in one hand and the other in the other?
Okay, biased. Yeah. So Michal finally searched for the Quirion range. What's the name? The guy who searches for mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Yavimaya Granger.
Yavimaya Granger. That's the one. Yes. And so
Now,
the risk of a Goblin King is becoming slightly more real, specifically or
yeah, but
especially
risk on 20 life.
Yeah.
Not so much of a risk, I guess.
I'm just curious if you're Michal, if you want to start attacking. Like, sure, you're gonna trade your Matron for.
No,
Grizzly
I don't
Bear?
like it because if you attack,
Yeah.
your Elvish champion will die.
What if you only attack with one creature, though? You mean like that?
If you attack with
Juli
it-
would double block.
No, if you attack with any creature,
Yeah.
he blocks with Matron.
Yeah.
And then he will deal 1 damage to champion. Then the creature will die, and you will kill the champion.
Okay.
You will untap.
Yeah,
You will
you're
kill.
right. You are.
You will kill
absolutely
bear.
right.
You
Yeah,
will
yeah,
kill
you're
bear.
right.
You kind of kill everything,
You can,
except for 1, 2, 2 that would stay.
that would be a very bad attack then.
Yes,
The reason why I don't play Elves.
I think we've seen some bad
I've
attacks.
seen some
today.
attacks involving sharpshooters that didn't go exactly the way as planned. So now Michal is kind of like gradually building a bigger position here.
Yes.
Okay, War Chief.
Yes.
Is-
We had a question. I mentioned it shortly with the floods, and we had a question in the chat. I just want to say, in Prague we are fine. It's just like river is still higher. There are like the embankments of the river. There are closed for public because there somewhere there's still water. But we were not like badly damaged. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to see flood in Prague, you can Google 2002 flood Prague, and it's kind of insane. The water was almost 8 meters higher than is normally.
Yeah.
And if you've ever visited, like huge part of Prague was flooded. I think like 1/8 or 1/10 of Prague was flooded. Like water was just under like Charles Bridge. It was kind of crazy. But now we were mostly affected like east part of our region. So there are several cities that were very, very badly damaged. So, but not in Prague. We were just watching it on TV.
So Juli decided not to attack.
I think like now let's just like face it. Like what is the plan? Where were we getting?
For Juli.
It's like
Second sharpshooter?
for Juliet, second sharpshooter. I think yes, but also what Michal, like in theory, Michal, he should be commanding. He should be deciding what's going on, right? And I feel like
Priest of Titania. Okay, so you can also go with the Masticore, generate absurd amount of mana, and okay, is this the Masticore turn? Like you go for Priest of Titania, which has haste, and it can give you 5 mana when it taps. So it's like a green ritual, green Cabal ritual.
Now, am I missing something, or the Granger should die?
Okay, yes.
he let
there
it
we go,
die.
there we
Okay.
go. So it's 4 instead of 5, but still. Also, that actually. Okay, that is dangerous because. Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. It's happening.
Mega, please. That's too painful.
Yeah, that is good.
Because I feel like, let's face it, like I mean, I have to say all credit to Juli, because although we were not sure, I think he should have killed, for example, the Finhorn Elf. There was no reason not to do that. But he had a plan. His plan was very clear. I want to get Sharpshooter into play and control game from there.
Yeah.
And I feel that Michal had everything. Everything. And
Now he seems to be quite unhappy by the gesturing and.
Yes, and he should have been in much better position, honestly.
Yeah.
Now he's unhappy. He would like to maybe take it back.
Like, does it still work the way that if you don't pay the echo,
Even,
it's just
did you
goes
see that
straight
little
to
thing that he even threw the forest back? He picked them up and then threw them back.
Yeah, like the body language is pretty clear here.
Yes, very clear.
Like, is there something that I remember there was last tournament, like if somebody forgets to discard to Masticore,
Yes,
like, it used to be the way that your Masticore is dead, but the
Yeah.
ruling was that like
Yes, and actually I discussed it with the judge later because we had like storm in the chat and everybody felt it was so bad.
Yeah.
I have to say I felt bad about it as well because I think that it should be, and personally I would probably like let it die if I was the Mastercore player, because I think that's like the way how to do it. But I discussed the judge and he really even showed me the guidelines, because the competition was not competitive. It was casual, and these like things you can take back.
Is it the same case here? You forget to pay the echo.
That's a very good question.
You can like
But
because
no,
you
but-
didn't
but
put it in
please,
the graveyard.
No. He didn't forget to pay the echo. I think he
decided
he
not to?
decided not to pay.
Okay.
That's how I understand from what we saw. But now, yeah, I'm not sure.
We can hear a bit of a commotion from
Yes,
the other.
it's getting
room. I think
louder
It's
from
getting
the
more emotional
neighboring-
there, but it's pretty clear here. Like if the Granger dies, then
Everything dies.
everything dies. Yeah.
He's
Like he's gonna be left with a bear and the collar of the claw and pretty useless
he won't be
priest of
even
Titania.
I don't even think he will be left with the color of the claw.
I would say yes, because it has 2 toughness. Like the 1 extra damage from the creature dying goes to Elvis champion. So then Finor Elves and the champion die. I'm just curious, like what is his reasoning now? So clearly he's trying to say, okay, the Granger stays. I'm just curious, like what would be his line of like why would he say that the Granger stays?
Yes, but unfortunately now it's.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
I
just
don't-
gonna go check if they have a
Yes,
judge
please
in
do
there.
check it. It's not that Michal is dead. He still is on 20 life. He can still go like Mastercore or something. It's definitely pretty bad. It's quite unnecessary. We will see. But I have to say it's very, very loud. I'm not sure if you can hear it on the stream, but it's quite a loud argument. Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that Sharpshooter is like. I think it's always good when you play when you obviously generally when you play Magic. There's that famous article, like I think it's called "Who is Aggro" or something like that, or "Who is Control." That you should always think what is how you should approach the match. Whether you should be aggressive, you should be more defensive, and I think Juli very well identified. How do I win against this deck that can just like kill me in 1 turn with like super big turn? I just want to get Sharpshooter, and Sharpshooter will just control the game. And he went for it. He even resist Wasteland Gas Cradle, which gave his opponent like 3 mana in that 1 turn, and just went for the Sharpshooter. And I think Michal could have been a little bit faster in finding the answer. Yes.
We have an update from the judge. The head judge was actually involved.
Yes.
Apparently what happened was that Michal did not draw his card for the turn yet, and they were reminded before to play faster, and so there was a miscommunication in that like Julie assumed that the step where the echo is paid has already passed and he wanted to shoot it. Michal did not draw a card yet for the turn, so he said that he was still thinking about like to pay or not to pay, and so they let it go back to
see.
make him either pay or not pay. I think the crucial thing here is to draw the card for the turn.
Yes.
If you draw the card for the turn, it's pretty clear.
But it seemed to me that Michal at some point put the Granger into graveyard.
We were somewhere there.
If I was Julie, I would think, well, he's not paying Echo.
Yeah,
and then he
and
wanted
then
to
I'm shooting,
shoot,
yeah, because-
and then Michal realized, but I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't been there,
wasn't
but
there,
that's
so-
how it seemed, because Michal just put the Granger into the graveyard without like Julie pointing to it or anything. Maybe he just reminded him.
Okay.
But
Just gonna quickly check one more time.
But it's really getting rather complicated, a little bit messy. Certainly, the elf champion is holding Michal's lines. Oh, there's Masticore. Okay, he's playing this. Okay. Now he probably wants to untap. So he's killing the Wirewood symbiote. He will in response return whatever, color the claw, it doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter very much. And he will untap this and just shoot the. It's kind of crazy. Yes. So just a moment ago,
Yeah.
Michal was just totally dead.
Yeah, now
And now he's kind of winning.
So apparently there was an agreement between the players that Michal did not deliberately decide not to pay the echo. That there was no spot where
and when he
would
put
just
it into graveyard,
I'm not sure about that, and I don't know if it was just saying it would go or I'm not sure.
yes, it's fine. They sorted it out, or with the judge.
But yeah.
That is important that they did sorted it out. Now he's
So now
attacking.
sharpshooter's gone,
now he's-
and Michal seems to be on the offense. And also they were reminded by the judge to play faster, so I
Okay.
think maybe partially that's why
Maybe.
that was the miscommunication with upkeep. But going back to what the board looks like,
Yes.
Michal is firmly in the driver's seat.
Yes. So we'll have a decider. It seems
Looks like it, yeah.
he won't let it slip, like Steven Gerrard. But
Is there a football?
yeah, it's a football reference. It's kind of painful for me personally, but it's kind of crazy. Like what a turnaround. There is this. Why not to have red untapped when you get Pile Driver now?
You have another red mana in your hand and you want to play around Gaia's Cradle? I don't know. That was nice.
Or you can't play around Gas Cradle, right? You can't.
Okay, well.
Oh, now he's
There's the red
retapping
there.
because it was actually one mana cheaper.
Oh, okay.
Because that's something that I'm not so sure, because I feel that if I make mistake, I have to bear. And I'm not saying Michal did make mistake. Maybe there was really some kind of miscommunication. I'm not talking about it. But I mean in general, when I make mistake, I think you should bear the consequences of it. But I feel that some people it makes them angry, and they feel that it was just like a stupid mistake. They realize right away. And they feel that they just lost because of it, or that sort of thing. So I'm not quite sure what's the right way how to do it. It's like I feel like in chess, in theory, if you play with your friend chess, you have unlimited time. You can think of your moves.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously it's not exactly magic, but it's similar, right? Nobody forces you to make some move, and when you make it, then you should probably stand by it. And if you make a mistake, then he takes your queen, but you can still kind of turn it around or do something about
or
it.
play another match.
Yes, play another match. So that's something that's simply how I feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's good about Magic, that it's in my view, it's very clear. You make a mistake, well, you made a mistake. It's not the end of the world, and everybody makes a mistake.
So Michal is going to take 5 here from the attack. Trade a bear for a Pile Driver. So not a bad trade.
Not a bad trade.
And then the Masticore is done. Masticore died to a Gem Palm Incinerator.
Okay, I have We have somebody from the chat. Albino Turtles. He says he always let his opponent take it back, and he never takes back his mistakes.
Well, that is like a very
Yeah,
to
that's
call it
yes.
very brave and
Yes,
also
that's very brave.
very generous.
Some people call it masochist, but
I guess it really depends. Like, I think honestly, it also depends on what kind of tournament you're playing. Like, if it's a casual tournament, then like, you know, they shouldn't rules should be enforced in a more casually way, as long as somebody's not taking advantage of it. And here we have a deranged hermit, and it's gonna be with the haste and the anger in the
yeah,
way,
it seems
there's
like
gonna
that's
be an attack for
that's probably
a
it.
what? Is it
But
lethal?
that's because just the deranged hermit is 9 damage. Actually 10 with the
yeah,
champion.
10 with the champion.
So this is it.
That should be more than lethal then.
Yes.
We're gonna be off to game 3 then very soon,
And Julie will just now play pyrokinesis and just turn it around.
spoken too soon.
Next turn he will get the second sharpshooter, and no, I think so. I think he has like 1 card in hand.
Wire with Symbiont, that's a lot of preparation for an alpha strike.
Somebody says La Robada del Año. I have very limited knowledge of Spanish, but it seems like robbery of the year.
Sounds like
Yes.
this could be what it's, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Probably there are some Julie's fans in the chat.
I think from our position we are missing quite a bit in terms of the verbal communication between the players, but like it was I would lean towards saying that like the Granger was more dead than alive at that point.
Now it's like just some kind of emotions. I think that's it. So let's just move to the next game.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
especially if they had the problem. Now will he bounce deranged hermit just to add insult to injury,
Oh, so
like swing for whatever 28.
so not even a pyrokinesis would be enough. I mean, it still would, right? Like it would kill the champion, the hermit.
Champion.
There's no way that would be lethal then.
Yes.
And if you're Michal, you still want to play around pyrokinesis, right? Like
Yes.
you don't want to like maybe you leave 2 squirrels back.
By the way, this is like for Julie. This is like this moment of zen, because it's
It's the
like he's
one where-
dead. He's dead.
Uh-huh.
So he can only like pretend. He can just be there as like this sphinx, not showing emotions, and he's like, yeah, you have it, and always pretend like you can do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still thinking about the situation because even the body
Yeah.
language of Michal kind of suggested that, like, maybe he was angry. Like, what would he be angry about? Like, if he
Yes, if you make him, yes, if you can take mistakes, because some people can't. And again, please, I just want to say, I'm not talking about Michal specific because I didn't see the situation.
Yeah,
But
right,
some
right. We're
people
still-
get angry with their own mistakes, but you are the one that's paying the price.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, because they are kind of angry on you. And I see, hi Robert, there's a friend Robert, and he's saying, 4-0 bracket, take back mistakes. Well, again, Robert, we are not sure if it was a mistake. There might have been this kind of a miscommunication, so we don't know. But Robert is a friend and legacy player, and he wants to start like a chess timers
For Magic.
for Magic, because he's like,
He's a
make
fast-
the
he's a-
play.
he's a fast player.
He's a fast player,
Uh-huh.
and he felt like some people slow playing. We have to sort it out. And
Yeah.
how are we going to do it? And
I think chess clock would be extremely inconvenient for Magic.
because you're passing that priority
Yeah.
back and forth
20
during
times a turn.
I don't think that could work, but I think that's
That's a well-wisher.
well-wisher.
And while we're talking, stuff is still
yes,
happening.
of course, because you're
on
swinging for
Michal's
28. You also
side
want
of
to
the
gain
board.
like.
Is it pyrokinesis? What happens if there's still no? Okay,
It's Fire Blast. No,
no fire. What fire blast?
no, I'm just joking. Okay.
Okay, well, this game took an unexpected turn. But we have.
But I have to say, from what I have seen, I think Julie seems a little bit more like I sense bit more from Juli that he knows where he's going, what he wants to do. Because I think Michal was a bit durdling there, like a turn or two, when I think he should have taken a grip of the game and just win the game. I think he almost let it slip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will see. I think with Juli, it's just very clear. It's just the pyrokinesis, and that's it. It's 1-1. So we're going to the final match.
Final game. Yeah.
Yes, and not one or two players that more than that in chat they said it's turn one lucky, goodbye.
Yeah. Like no, I mean, in all seriousness, Goblins are going to be on the play, and I think they're highly favored in this game when they're in the play.
Yes, Goblin game 3 is the scariest thing to face. Yes, it's like don't have lucky, don't have lucky, don't have lucky, please don't have lucky.
Yeah. But even here, the sequence of like Fanatic, Pile Driver, War Chief it's a very strong.
Absolutely, or even yes, absolutely. And like Gem Palm, just always hits, always hits.
Right.
And it's quite incredible.
Still talking to the players now. I don't know if it's about what happened before, but they are still in the middle of some discussion. I would suppose that it's about what happened earlier. And let me just check on what's going on there. I think the match should be 1-1 at this point.
Yes, I think so. Yes. So while Adam is still checking, and he will come back soon and tell us what's going on. Martin came for a moment. I just we had absolutely crazy 2 games of Elves versus Goblins.
I watched the first game.
As every like turn, it looked like the other one is going to win. So I was. Do you have any information?
No. I think the judges are talking to the players away from the tables, one by one, to maybe just
clarify what happened.
Yeah, clarify what happened from each of the players' perspective. And but I mean, it's okay. I can finish the match.
Yeah. Just finish. Sorry, because I thought that I'm going for longer, like just to check. Yeah, so we're just crazy, and it was kind of crazy. If you watched it, and if you have not watched it, definitely rewatch it, because like it's like if you were about to bet who is going to win, it was just changing all the time. And...
Oh, so maybe the match. I'm just gonna go. Maybe that means the match ended with a draw.
Oh,
did we run out of time?
It's okay. It's possible. Okay. Yeah. I can hear it. It's a draw. It's a draw.